this game had two completely different soundtracks.
Yes.
One in Japan and
one here.
Now, the one in Japan, actually, we got it here on the Mega CD version, which is a Sega CD for Americans. It's the add-on for the Mega Drive. Sega CD version here used the Japanese soundtrack.
Yes.
PC version used the American soundtrack, right? And so you sort of go, well, why did they have to make another soundtrack? What was wrong with the Japanese one? Surely it can't have been that bad. Well...
I've heard it.
Yeah, there are a lot of people, they prefer it. Lots of people do prefer it. They say it's better and everything. And you say, well, why? So why did they need to change it so much? Well, because it's freaking weird.
Yeah, it's not really what you would expect from a Sonic game.
Or any game, really much,
well,
you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, okay, so it's when they did the US, they did a sort of pop rock soundtrack. And funny enough, it's the more timeless of the two. And sort of looking back now, I have attempted to play the game with the Japanese soundtrack, and it's very odd. It's kind of like you're having people kind of shouting in your ear the whole time. There's like this whole party going on, right?
So you know what? I think now is probably a good time. Let's just play it. Let's let them hear it.
Okay, right. Okay, it's just a good example here, right? Is you're playing a platform game, right? A Sonic game, and you just finished the level. Yeah, you expect to hear like a kind of a jingle, like a
triumphant. You've completed the
something like this. It would be
that's
pretty accurate, right?
Pretty.
So that was changed. That was actually the US version, and it was changed. So you play the Japanese version, and you finish a course, and you get this. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't get that one. Hold on. You get this.
You completed the level in style.
Do you know what that doesn't? Do you know what that sounds like to me? Right. I mean, it's terribly dated. It's very 92, isn't it? But what that sounds like to me. Do you remember you used to go to? Remember in like say primary school, they would sort of say you do try and teach you like to say no to drugs, you know, and they'd show you like they'd pull out like a VHS cassette.
Oh yeah.
And track that shit in on the TV, get rid of all the fuzziness and everything, and then you watch a bunch of adults trying to play teenagers.
Yeah.
Discovering drugs, man. What's this? It's whack, it's smack. You know, and they would talk about the drugs and they would say no to the drugs. And they, you know, one kid would have a bad experience with the drugs and everybody would go, no, we're healthy because we don't do drugs. And then they'd all be so happy and then they'd all get on their roller skates and they'd skate away and then they would jump.
As they skate away into the sunset, they do a big jump.
You say they all jump up in the air and it freeze frames and it goes... Yeah, and the credits roll. Yeah. and so, well, imagine now that you're hearing this every single time you beat a level in a game with a good, well, 3 acts, 6 zones, you know, a lot of levels, and every time you beat a special stage as well.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I can't take it.
Okay, so.
Well, I also wanted to say, so I looked up, I thought I was listening to scatting here, right? But this fella on a website called Sonic Retro has taken the liberty to transcribe all of the lyrics to the songs in Sonic CD Japanese. And he's checked them. You know, the guy that wrote the music has confirmed them, apparently. So there's actual lyrics to the level end theme. But the second line is scatting. The first line is teleportation. Yeah.
Of course.
You want to hear it again? See if you can hear it. Teleportation, yeah!
Teleportation, yeah! Because everyone knows Sonic loves teleporting.
Yeah! Goes, oh, teleportation, yeah! So It makes you feel real good about your accomplishment.
If your accomplishment was learning how to teleport. Other than that, just well done. You completed the level though, so that's good as well. I mean, it's not quite learning how to teleport, but it's pretty good. Give yourself a pat on the back, move on to the next stage.
And, you know, so, okay, yeah, and at the end of each stage, you know, at the end of Act 3 of each stage, you're going to have a boss, aren't you, you know, and Sonic's nemesis was Dr. Robotnik, or Dr. Eggman. Yeah.
Or Dr. Ivo Robotnik.
Yes. Penis! You're going to have to look that up on YouTube if you don't get the penis thing. Dr. Robotnik, Pingus, look it up, why not?
Yeah, do it. Do it now. Well, don't do it now, obviously. Listen to the rest of the podcast, do it afterwards.
Yeah, then you'll waste many hours of your life. Well, actually,
or saying that, look it up now. We'll give you a moment.
Yeah. We'll just sit here, quietly for a few minutes while you look that up. You'll probably type into Google.
Yeah,
what it is?
Probably typing it in right now.
Pingas, Dr. Robotnik. Put it on YouTube. It's better.
Yeah. YouTube is good. YouTube.
Yeah.
Found it. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to pause the podcast to play it. Okay, so I guess
there you go.
They get the joke. They're up to date. Awesome.
Okay, so moving on. Yes.
So at the end of each stage, you will come against Dr. Robotnik, who, he's a funny villain. He's a funny villain. But when we were kids, he was just a little sprite on the screen, and as far as we knew, he was evil incarnate. Yeah,
he was pure evil.
There were cartoons on the TV, and there was the one was kind of funny, but they had the one version of him which was just this Darth Vader, this evil man, and you're fighting against this evil guy who wants to take over the world by turning all the animals into robots and build factories all over the place. A nasty piece of work.
I mean, he also hates fun and music.
He does. He wants to rid the planet of fun and music. And so, he would be in these massive machines and you'd have to fight him off. And you'd probably imagine to have some kind of creepy music, something along these lines.
So you've got the drama there. You've got the evil laugh and everything. Something quite,
Yeah, kind of a little bit melodramatic, but
bear in mind you're 10.
Exactly. There's this guy stomping around in these big giant machines wanting to kill you. It's pretty scary stuff, right? So I played this with the Japanese music, and I thought, well, what are the Japanese going to do with this then? What do they consider evil?
And here we go.
We kind of got a Dr. Robotnik's workout.
Yeah.
We got. So
a little bit different.
Dr. Robotnik's workout. Now I've always heard him saying, "Work that funky butt." Come on now, work that. But actually looking it up, it was actually "Work that sucker to death." It's just kind of somebody licking a lolly, isn't it? Work that sucker to death. But as it continues, we actually get some lyrics about Dr. Robotnik. More spoken than rapped, really. I'm not quite sure what they are. Something about being bold, brainy, and cold-hearted.
Ooh.
Now, I would like to say that the sort of our version of the music, I say our, the Americans' version of the music didn't really need to tell you that he was evil.
Yeah,
literally.
He was evil. You could hear it in the music.
But I wouldn't mind looking up those lyrics real quick. Okay, so we have the lyrics right here. And the boss actually says, war would end, earth-trembling fear, bold, brainy, and cold-hearted. The distance grows closer, little by little. Wow! The power you possess is incredible. He doesn't stand a chance. Work that sucker to death. Come on now. Yeah, that's basically the lyrics. I think it says everything that could possibly much to say about Dr. Robotnik, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I mean, those lyrics pretty much encapsulate him in the capsule.
I'll work that sucker to death. Okay, and also Sonic CD also introduced Metal Sonic, Metallics, Hyper Metal Sonic, whatever you want to call him, the robot Sonic, the Sonic Terminator, who was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was made of metal and everything.
Yeah, and you would have to fight him he was fast like Sonic, so you had to race him. You race him through the town. If you didn't beat him, you'd get blasted by a laser. Okay, the Japanese have chosen to accompany this race with this sound.